What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the Art of Violence. I want to talk about Jiri Prochazka versus Alex Pereira. The fight that happened last night. My gosh. Did it go down pretty much the exact way I thought? Yes. Was it still insanely impressive and fun to watch? Absolutely. Did I predict it like almost to a T? Basically. You guys can go watch my other video predicting why I thought Alex was going to basically destroy Jiri. Probably link it below. And yeah, it was a one-sided beatdown, man. It was a one-sided beatdown. All the stuff Jiri, all the mistakes Jiri makes, you know, he made it that I was talking about. He makes in this fight. Not having any sort of fundamental defense, not having any sort of solid footwork base. Staying in range too long without actually doing anything, having his hands down the entire time, relying on random, out of nowhere, sporadic strikes to try to land a big one on you. Having no footwork foundation. He made all those mistakes in the fight from the beginning, like literally from the very beginning. So even the first jab that Alex landed on him that, you know, rocked him back, he was in range pursuing Alex, you know, very, very overextended with his hand not, his other hand, I think he was trying to jab Alex too. His other hand was not covering his face and he got hit right away. And it's not just that he's not covering his face. Again, he's in range trying to pursue you with very obvious strikes. It's never going to end well. And that was basically how the whole fight ended. He would stay in range, do his little bounce, try to hit Alex with these very overextended shots where he didn't really even have his weight behind him, and Alex would just sit there, wait and counter. The last punch where Alex hit him with that check hook, Jiri was trying to like do like this double, triple jab in, very overextended. Alex just leaned back, got him to pursue, cracked him with it. Dropped him bad at the end of the first round. If that first round had 10 more seconds, it would have been over. Not to be one of those guys who says that like oh, if only he would have won. Some people do that, like when their favorite fighter loses, they get upset and they're like, oh, if there's only 10 more seconds that last round, he would have won. But no, really, like if there was like an extra 5 seconds, he was so rocked and dazed. There was an extra 5-10 seconds, Alex probably would have been able to put him away in the first round. But yeah, Alex stayed crisp. He stayed clean. He stayed defensively responsible. His footwork was there. His defense was there. His leg kicks were there. Jiri went southpaw in the beginning of the fight. Alex made him pay for it immediately. Jiri switched back. And Jiri, whenever Jiri was getting hit too, he was getting very, like, his ego was getting very triggered. Like when he would get hit, he would like bounce up and down and like, yeah, come on, which is a huge sign of ego. And it just kind of lets everyone know that, like, I got you. Like, if you're having that sort of response, it means I got you. It's funny because back in the day, it used to kind of like, it used to mean you were a tough guy. But now everyone knows. It's like, no, I got you. That's why you're having that response. Every time he would get hit, he would act like, oh, it's no big deal. But it's like, it is a big deal because you're getting cracked and rocked and dropped, and you're not doing anything about it. He just had no game plan. Made all the same mistakes he always makes. And, yeah, I mean, I'll try to play some clips, show some pictures. You know, his main issue is just he's always in range. He's always available to get hit, and he doesn't have the defense to stay in range like that. He doesn't have like a Canelo style defense where his hands are glued to his face. He's constantly aware of what you're doing. You know, he's either, and if things get too rough, he's out of there like Canelo is. You know, but Canelo has a whole game plan around like pressuring you, staying in range, getting you to throw and overextend, and then doing a quick pullback, countering you, or just pressing you to the point where you like can't keep your composure, and then throwing nasty body shots at you, and eventually switching one of his body shots, his liver shots, to a face shot. You know, and then catching you. He's got a whole game plan around that. Jiri doesn't. You're going to stay in range like that. You got to have a phenomenal defense. You have to have an absolutely phenomenal defense. You cannot just like you cannot just stay in range like that without having super high level skills and an entire game plan surrounding that. It's just going to go so terribly for you. as it did him. There's no benefit to that. So, as we saw, you know, that's really what it was. He didn't set Alex up whatsoever. He wasn't sitting down hardly on any of his punches. He didn't know where to find Alex. He wasn't feinting Alex correctly at all. He was doing like these weird, like little like bouncy feints without actually committing to any shots. If you're going to feint like that over and over, you actually have to throw eventually and hopefully land, so that once it lands, now you have something to go off of. You know, your feints really start to work once you land, because now there's pain associated. So now there's a reason for the fighter, your opponent, to overreact. So, you know, he really just lacked a fundamental game plan through and through. And, you know, again, made all the same mistakes as well. So, and if you guys don't believe me that, like, that's his main problem, that he just stays in range without really doing anything, again, I'll try to post as many, like, little video clips and pictures as I can without getting any sort of copyright. Like, he's just sitting in range, doing nothing. If you're going to sit there and do nothing, at least go outside of range. You know, there's punching range and kicking range. He sits in punching range, which is even closer, and just does nothing. Just waits for the perfect strike that never comes. You know, he doesn't. It's amazing he's been able to beat some of the guys he's been able to beat, because he really, against a fighter that has good foundations, he really gets exposed very fast. And yeah, I think it's just because there's probably a lack of skill in the upper weight divisions that he's been able to thrive. Because as soon as that guy fights anyone with good foundations, he's getting the same thing is going to happen, man. The same thing is going to happen. And you'll notice too, in a lot of his fights, he gets injured in the vast majority of his fights. He does. He gets injured in almost all his fights. He gets rocked. He gets cracked. Almost every fight's a war. You know, even in the Dominic Reyes fight, he got hurt a lot in that fight. Dominic just didn't have the defense in that fight to be able to deal with him. Be interesting to see how that fight goes now that Dominic has seemed to go back to his roots, which is where he should have been all along. Be interesting to see how that fight goes now. But, yeah, is Jiri good? Does Jiri have all the potential in the world? Absolutely. Could Jiri be a world champion? Absolutely. But he needs to get the right coach behind him. He does not have good coaches behind him at all. You know, he needs to go with, like, I think he was with Henry Cejudo's coach for a while. I think he's been bouncing around. He needs to go with a coach like that. I believe his head coach's name is Eric Henry's. Yeah, he needs to go with like a really solid camp that can really help him out and can really show him how to stick to a game plan and perfect his fundamentals. Really, like, it's almost like there's fundamentals he never learned. The way he just leaps into shots and keeps all his hands down, the way he defends, it's like, it's just very, like, it's very all over the place. It's very all over the place. And oftentimes he doesn't have, like, the accuracy or the right reflexes to be able to do that. That's why he gets caught in all of his fights. So, and doing stuff like that ultimately gets you knocked out when you fight higher level guys. So he needs to, like, learn how to properly block a punch. It's like he never learned, or he just chooses to not do it, which gets you in trouble at the highest levels. So he needs to go back to the fundamentals. I think fighters oftentimes think that they got to do fancy stuff to win championships, and it's like, look at the way Alex beat him. Just straight fundamentals. Leg kicks, solid base, moving backwards, posting away when a Jiri would get too close, countering, pullbacks, you know, sorry. Basic stuff. There's nothing super advanced that he was doing. Nothing super advanced. So, it is what it is, you know. Fight went pretty much exactly how I thought it would. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Let me know what you guys think. Did it happen the way you thought it would? Did you think Jiri was going to do better? Did you think Alex was going to finish him the way he did? You think the fight was going to go to a decision? What did you guys think? I watched the video of the Wade concept talking about how Jiri was going to win. He really didn't have any reason to come to that conclusion from what I remember. It was just like oh, he pulls stuff out of nowhere and he's super athletic and, you know, he's going to improve this time so he'll win. It was just like a bunch of, like, vague nonsense. I'll probably do a reaction video to it because I don't know how the Wade concept, his channel, you can go check him out. I actually like his channel for the most part. I don't know how he landed on Jiri, but I had Alex winning all day in that fashion too. So, is what it is. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. I'll respond to every comment. We'll have a conversation about it. And yeah, my name's Angelo. Zero to Violence. Till next time.